explanation, we finally start seeing people noticing that Glenn did not come back.
What's going on, guys? We're back for another review on The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 5. So,
Yes, this is the AV&T show. I am TJ Green. This is Al Varn. Hence, the AV&T. What's up? This is the more explanation. We finally start seeing people noticing that Glenn did not come back, that he has disappeared. Nobody knows his fate yet. We got revelations about Maggie coming in. We got revelations in regards to a possible relationship between Rick and Jesse. In which case,
sidebar there. Saw it coming. I see it coming.
It's bad though, because there are still people who are like pure fans, nothing wrong with them, who are saying they don't like Rick with Jesse. And I'm like, then what show are you watching? Because clearly this is how they're going with that.
Yeah.
And what a smoocher, by the way. Apparently, yes. I was almost gonna say Rick is Jesse's girl, but that would have been it would have been a perfect Jesse's girl joke. But
That's a horrible reference, including if you think of it with the way of the song.
Yeah.
But
but considering how long Rick's hair is, you could go with it. But it's nice to see that Rick is trying to move on and still have a relationship in this, in the apocalypse. After losing his wife and the whole ordeal with Shane and.
Overall, on that note, overall, I want to say it's good to see that, and it's also good to see that as shitty as everything seems to be going in the way of walkers, wolves, the attack and everything, as shitty as everything's been literally put in front of them, I want to say they're handling it pretty well. They're adapting quite well, especially with the walkers at their door now.
Well, I think it's a matter of and this is kind of a metaphor for the entire show. Really, it's trying to find hope in hopelessness.
Exactly.
This zombie apocalypse, it's all over. The human race is at this point, it's nearing its extinction.
Mm-hmm.
The walkers are outnumbering the non-infected folk, and so with referring back to Rick losing his wife, and the fact that
that was a very dark moment for him. Really.
It very was. So
that he lost it for a while there.
So for him to come back with this, and finally have the yen for Jesse, and for Jesse to actually respond back, and for them to share that kiss, I definitely think is monumental, especially with how kamikaze Rick's becoming. I think it's a definite way for him to hold that off and finally start regaining his humanity. My worry is if they do decide that Jesse needs to be taken out of the picture, will it be the one thing that sends him over the edge, or at least be the one thing that kind of sends him close enough to where he'll make the decision. At that point, who knows? But do I agree with the Rick-Jesse relationship?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't see anything wrong with it either. I'm kind of indifferent because I really don't.
I'm kind of intrigued. I want to see how this comes out, what exactly happens.
I'm not saying the girl who plays Jessie is a bad actress or anything. I'm not too fond of the character, but I think it's a relationship that needs to be. So, do I agree with it? I kind of agree with the timing of it. Even if I don't kind of agree with the character, but then again, with as many seasons as this could last reasonably, this could be one of those just temporary things, and either she betrays him and then he finds somebody else at some point, or who knows? I may warm up to Jesse. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But
of course, this all is really hanging on the balance of what happens with like Alexandria, right?
yes, it's imploding.
Because with the walkers at their door, the gates are holding this. That's good.
Well, look at the discovery of that sewer entrance, the sewer pathway, that was infested with walkers. I mean, to have that knowledge that there's a potential way for, or reason for, quote unquote, the wolves invading the gates, or the walkers, invading the gates of Alexandria. I think that's good.
The wolves were practically not wiped out, but a good chunk of them were taken out.
The wolves are definitely lost in their force, so
yeah,
they're gonna have to play things.
They're not coming back for a while.
No.
In fact, if they're gonna have to start recruiting, maybe, but we'll figure out what happens with that.
Yes, they need to play things tactically in order to get one over on Rick and the group again, which at this point, Rick is hell-bent for election to not let that happen.
This is the one thing that kind of makes me wonder. Since the death of what's her name? The main one. I'm trying to figure her name again.
Beth?
No, the one who lost her husband in Alexandria.
Oh, the one who lost her husband in Alexandria.
Yeah, is that what's her name again? Fuck. I had it on the tip of my tongue too. Anyway. Her character, I want to say, if you've noticed, is progressing towards kind of lost, but seems to be coming back. And
wasn't she like the resident doctor or something?
Yeah.
The physician? Yeah.
Oh no, she was the politician.
Oh, the politician. Oh.
Yeah, she was technically the governor. Okay, maybe not the governor. Bad reference.
Bad reference.
Isn't that what she was?
Yeah,
she was a governor of some kind?
She was
congresswoman. That's right, congresswoman. But yeah, that last episode, you can just sort of tell that she's kind of coming out of the silent stage.
Yes.
It's just it kind of seems to me like she's turning really, really aggressive.
Very much. She's definitely mirroring some of the characters that have come through the last 5 or so seasons before. Is that wallflower-ish type? I mean,
this is what confused me the most.
Social butterfly turned samurai.
This is the thing that confused me most. What was the point of going over to the front gate and banging on it a few times and then walking away? I'm just curious if that was just a vengeance kind of thing, like I'd kill you, but I don't know.
Maybe all I know is that she's just a fuck you. Maybe it's just a general fuck you to the.
all that time I swear to God though, I felt, as quiet as she was, I really felt like she kind of blamed Rick in some way about
fair likely
some things. But I feel like she's getting past that because she's realizing that Rick's really trying to help, and things just went to shit really quickly, unfortunately.
It's true. A lot of people are claiming or blaming Rick for the implosion of Alexandria that they believe has happened. Truthfully, Alexandria was destined to implode from the get-go. It had the potential for being the safe haven, and then
it's just too big.
It was they had the right idea, but they were still too naive.
I mean, it's not like it's not secluded. It's secluded, but it's just like the quarry, the pileup of those walkers. That was going to break down anyway at some point. Hell, it actually did. Remember the truck slid off the edge? It was destined. It was going to happen eventually. They just acted upon it. I want to say, just in time, right? Oh, by the way, there's one thing though that I thought was kind of funny. When she asked Rick, she goes, "What I wanted for this place, was that really just pie in the sky?" Personally, I thought that was kind of funny when she used that reference. I'm like, yeah, I suppose you could call it pie in the sky.
I don't think it was a bad idea. What she wanted for Alexandria was
Normal
good.
life.
Yes,
She wanted normal.
It was
normalcy.
something that could have resembled a normal society remaining in the apocalypse.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the apocalypse.
But it was a pipe dream.
None of them were trained to shoot or even stab in the head, which is the easiest thing in the world if you think about it.
Oh my God! Yes.
Most of them were scared.
Of
what's outside.
Did most people realize the best way to take out a walker, or the only way to take out a walker is through the head? And there was at one
Not many
point
people realized that.
that one scene where she was, was it Jesse? I think it was, who decided that she was going to take her anger out on a walker and stab that walker multiple times
In her house. That was a wolf. She was one of the wolves. That wasn't a walker.
Because they took one of the walkers, and instead of stabbing it in the head, stabbed it in the chest like 17 times practically.
You mean Congresswoman? What's her name?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was a congresswoman.
She met a walker when she was walking around at night. She was trying to return some supplies.
Yeah.
Tripped and broke a bottle and realized that she was going to stab the fuck out of the zombie, and
Wouldn't you think
she wouldn't have killed it if she had she would have killed it if she had hit it in the head. Although Rick helped her out a little bit.
Wouldn't you think by logic she should have stabbed it in the head because?
Yeah, she should have. But I think she was just how she was. The anger just broke loose to just fucking stab the shit out of it, even if it was alive still.
Oh, as many times as she stabbed him in the chest, wouldn't you have thought that Walker would have got the idea to turn her into a human pork chop? He could have taken a chunk.
It was reckless. But then again, she's not trained.
No.
To kill.
It was one of those things that, like, if you want somebody dead, shouldn't you realize after this, like, 18th time of stabbing them that maybe you should try for their brain?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a nitpick. It was kind of funny because I half expected.
I think it's going to be very interesting, in my opinion, to see what's happening, or what's going to happen in the episodes to come.
Yes.
With the Alexandrians, how they progress, exactly what they're doing, who dies, who doesn't, who's going to be the savior of them all. I don't know, whoever that may be.
There's good guesses, like right now, theories on who's going to be the savior. People are. It's a half split decision because half are thinking Rick will still be the savior, because of that note. The new world needs Rick Grimes. And then the other half are thinking, screw you, Rick Grimes, it's Morgan. With Morgan's new self,
Morgan's
exactly
views
self-help.
are solid. But he's realizing.
Morgan's regained himself?
Yeah. But he's also realizing, too, because you know how his methods, since before re-meeting up with Rick and the group,
Mm-hmm.
were to not kill. But,
yes. He kind of had the pacifists.
Because when the wolves invaded, he was a little iffy about killing them, especially the guy who actually attacked him in the beginning, and he knocked him out to begin with, which kind of bit him in the ass because the wolves came back and they did find him.
Well, and again, I think this leads back to something we did touch on. So if you want to catch up on that, just watch our last episode of the AV&T for this.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of touches on that whole thing where Morgan had that past with that one wolf, and how we kind of thought that, okay, well, will that come back and bite him in regards to the Alexandrians? And to me, I think it's seeming that is starting to happen. I think.
Yeah, his past decisions are starting to come up and bite him in the ass.
So will Morgan have saved himself? Yeah. But now I'm kind of wondering what the cost is, and I think that's what we're going to start to slowly find out.
I think he's going to start to realize you got to do what you got to do. But the question is, Is he going to revert back to his old self at some point? That sounds like a ticking time bomb.
It does, but I think everybody's got that risk. Can they revert back to the ways they used to be?
Well, if they,
it's possible.
it is possible.
This apocalypse has really had a history of doing that to some people, and it's already claimed.
But I can see Morgan being one of the people to step up and really be the the one to hold the candle.
My theory is
I guess
he will save the quote unquote save the world at type of metaphor. He'll save everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of this season, he could sacrifice himself to do it.
Yeah, probably.
To kind of reality check Rick.
I mean, look what Eastman did. He got bit.
Yeah, he did. Rest in peace, Eastman. Or should I say pieces after that?
Not to say Morgan, is going to go easily.
No,
but,
Morgan will not go quietly into the Dark Knight, but he'll be the true warrior. He will sacrifice himself to save others, and in the doing so, he may save them in more ways than one. It could be an emotional save. It could be a physical save. It could be all of it. Really, it's just a matter of how that's going to play out. I think he's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And will I agree with this one? Yes, as long as it's done in like I said, a sacrificial way. He needs to give up his life to save the crew, and he
not have his head cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Or cut and then his head cut off brutally. Even though, we're not gonna go into that. That was brutal enough.
Rest in peace, Herschel. I truly believe that he should, before he goes, he should give Rick his reality check. Kind of the intervention that Rick is needing.
Yeah, he does need some intervention.
He does at this point. Having that relationship with Jesse's going to help it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something more that needs to happen, because Rick is kind of way too callous about the taking of a life. Because at this point, the wolves need to die. The wolves need to die. We know this. The wolves at this point, they do not care. They will take your life, and then they will do the Mexican hat dance on you afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. Rick is callous about taking lives, yes. But in a way, it's sort of saving his ass and everyone else's ass. At least for the moment. At least based on the last couple episodes we saw. You remember the time you remember the RV parked it?
Yes.
And he gets ambushed by some people trying to take the RV. And in the process, I honestly thought he was going to fucking die, to be honest. Because he just stood there like he was a fucking dead piece of meat. In a fucking meat locker. Let's put it that way.
It's, it's true.
It's good to see he didn't die, though, personally. But, intervention, I feel, is needed. Cause
I think Rick was lost, back during 5. When everybody lost the prison and everything, and, losing Herschel, Rick didn't know who he was supposed to be at that point, and he was putting himself and Carl at risk trying to search.
Well, he's finding out now.
And then Carl got put in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Rick snapped like a Thanksgiving Day freaking twig, or wishbone, if you want to make the reference complete. And
he tore the guy's jugular out like a fucking
with his own teeth.
Yeah.
Like
fucking digging into a Thanksgiving turkey.
Your lungs, it's what's for Rick's dinner. But yeah, he did that. Took a chunk, he took a bite out of crime, so to speak. And so he snaps in defense of Carl, mind you, which any father would under those duress circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the beginning of the snapping process for Rick and what sent him overboard. And then when they got captured by the Terminites,
mm-hmm.
That I think was the whole thing where he saw how truly monstrous people in the zombie apocalypse can be.
Which is why he was skeptical about coming to Alexander to begin with.
So, at that point, he's looking out for his own. He's looking out for only the people who have been with him through the last 5 years. And
which is why it doesn't surprise me that if things were to literally escalate quickly, the walls were to come down, the walkers were to come in, I guarantee the people he cared about the most, he would get together and get the fuck out of there.
And let's just be honest, losing Beth didn't help Rick's psyche either, because that was one of his own. That was like another loss of Herschel, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It was somebody that was close to them, that had done her part, had been there and defended the group and everything, and just did her best to survive. And so the way she was taken, that had to have kind of helped his emotional state along. So at this point, anything goes for Rick.
Pretty much. But I'm pretty sure we'll definitely find that out in the next couple episodes.
Absolutely.
I think there's, 2 episodes left for the season
finale?
finale?
For the mid-season finale, I believe there's, yes. Also, before we end, I do think we should touch on Maggie's revelation, because we did kind of hint at it earlier.
That's right. I forgot about that too.
In this episode, Maggie is revealed to be pregnant with Glenn's baby.
All that hard work paid off, Glenn. I had to say that.
I'm glad procreation works in the zombie apocalypse. We are so sorry for you, Maggie. Because at this point, she's having the best news of her life, and Glenn could still be Zombie Chow.
Could be. He might not, but we've yet to see him, so we don't know.
And at this point,
they're really stringing us along.
Yes, they're very much stringing us along. If he should be already surviving, should he have survived, and we do find that out, if Negan does end up succeeding in killing him like he does in the graphic novel, that's insulting. That is douche, because that would be killing him off of a peak moment.
Barbed wire to the face never feels good.
It's like, congratulations, you just succeeded in giving birth in the zombie apocalypse. Oh, that's...
Apparently it can blow up a car too.
But
that's another topic.
I am happy because it is the attempt at another version of hope in hopelessness. The creation of life in a situation that is taking lives countlessly. I do think it's a nice idea. I just, with the fate of Glenn still being unsure, it's one of those, okay, well, we already are worried about how badly Rick's gonna snap. I'm kind of worried about the Dark Path losing Glenn, or finding out that Glenn is dead already, is gonna take on Maggie.
Oh, yeah.
and how she, I mean, clearly she's going to be the overprotective, mother, and she's gonna defend that child like she's a rabid Wolverine. But is she going to care about a lot other than that?
Here's another thought. This is more of a morbid thought. Let's just say Glenn is dead, and they never find him. But they do. Who's to say that he doesn't come right to the front gates
as a walker? Oh.
Then they're gonna know.
What a way to need to die.
Yeah, and then she's gonna really fucking lose it.
Yeah. At that point, Maggie better not be the one to kill him. Somebody else will do it. I'm seriously hoping it's an...
Probably Rick.
Are you sure that's a wise idea? Because Maggie will be to the point where she's going to hate whoever does it. She will hate whoever kills Rick.
I have a feeling that if that's the case and Rick does it, then... Yeah, I don't know, maybe. We'll see though, I mean... It's a what you call an if... What if?
On this one, I'd be more apt to be okay with a nobody killing Glenn as a walker.
Oh, yeah.
Because then at least Maggie can distribute that hate onto somebody who's not part of our core group. But it does kind of, if Rick or somebody in our group were to have to kill Glenn, it would make for an interesting change in the dynamic for a while, and see, okay, well, can that be built back? You know, can she be pulled back from the brink after such a, you know, a tragic loss? It leaves a lot open. So,
I don't know.
I will say, you know, as much as I'm angry at you, writers, producers, and of course Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead, for the fact of this freaking tease on whether or not our favorite Glenster is still alive. You suck for that. Mm-hmm. I do think it's done well, so I also give you kudos. I say screw you in a way, but I give you kudos because
it's keeping you on your seat.
It is. It's teasing us, but not insulting us, and I think that's a good way to do it.
So this was a hell of an episode, in my opinion.
Indeed.
We will definitely be on the edge of our seats for the next 2 episodes, and hopefully we actually figure out what happens with Glenn. You know, if they don't give us any information on Glenn with these last 2 episodes, I'm gonna be like, fuckers.
Agreed.
I'm gonna be like, are you serious? Why are you making us wait this long?
I would probably join one of the various groups who are holding signs and protesting, saying, "If Glenn dies, we riot."
I have a feeling they're gonna. You know, side note here. I have a feeling they could just go the way of. If he does survive and he comes back, he probably ain't gonna come back till about the last of the the final of the mid-season.
Oh Jesus! Yeah,
that could happen too.
They could save his.
They might.
His fate. His.
It sounds about right because he hasn't shown
survival
up
or
yet.
demise on the mid-season finale.
And that was a lot of zombies too. Take them a while to get back. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, guys. And
episode.
Oh yeah.
And just to give a very quick update, we are in the midst of planning a video game review for our next segments coming up.
That's right.
We are planning something very, actually in deep for the newest game in the Metal Gear Solid series, The Phantom Pain. And Fallout 4, of course, just came out recently, and we're looking forward to touching on that for a review as well.
So basically, in the next couple weeks or so, around that time frame, you will be seeing. This is what we were thinking, because the Fallout 4 game is such an awesome game, guys. We're thinking of a part 1 and a part 2. That's what we were thinking.
Yes, there will be 2 parts to this.
Because the content's going to be there. It's going to be rich with content, obviously. So we're going to need a 2-parter to cover this. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. We've got Fallout 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes. So
coming up.
Definitely 2 of the newest releases we're looking forward to.
Stay tuned, guys, because these are topics you don't want to miss.
Absolutely. Keep it tuned.